Wow, what a beauty, what a blessing. Thank you.
Much love is sent to you all. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything. I apologize. I have to leave now, but
Thank you for blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Say thank you to everyone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. It's a blessing to have you blessing us, your voice and the music. It's another form of nonviolent resistance that guides to heal and connect us. So thank you, Alexander. Mhm.
See you soon.
Okay, so thank you to Alexander and the Gay Beninom choir. We'll begin in a few minutes with Evelyn Ophir, which May will introduce, and we're gonna have we're also gonna have a few words about SATYAM, about the hunger strike, about the movement we're trying to achieve by meeting here every day, and later on, after we're gonna have about a half an hour. Wait, sorry, I didn't introduce my daughter, Ori. Shalom, Nur Salam, which is with me here today. um, so just a moment, I'll get her pacifier. We're trying to have a movement that is connected to life. So this is how it looks like. And we're gonna have about a half an hour talk. And then we're gonna break out to breakout rooms where we're gonna have a conversation in small groups about what we have heard. And we'll also give like a guiding question to talk about, but of course it will be also an opportunity to just share how we feel with each other. Then we're gonna gather up again. By the end of the about 15 minutes, we're gonna have talking together. It depends when exactly we finish the talk. And we're going to have time for also sharing in the big group. I will say that when we listen to the speaker, it's better to write questions in the chat group. And if it's not something very important and urgent for the middle of the talk, so we're going to let Evelyn talk until the end, and then we're going to have time for questions. This is, I think, the main things. David, May, do you want to share about SATYAM?
Thank you, Raz. And Ahlan Nur, our, our beloved new baby.
No,
Reason. May she have a life where she say this was a history.
Yes, she already visited Beit Jala, which I think many Israelis didn't have the privilege to do.
Exactly. Habibti. Habibti. It's exactly for them what we do. My daughter Aram was at Razi's place for a few days, meeting her stepdaughters and falling in love and baking cookies in Ain Karim, going to the sea, swimming at the sea, coming with Noor here and sitting, talking, holding, carrying, raising children together, raising children that already know each other so deeply in the soul. So may they have, so may they never, never even have an enemy image of each other. And may we heal this homeland for them.
Inshallah.
Habibti.
I will share maybe just before we begin. It's a small anecdote, but I think it's a part of my understanding of what we're doing here as a movement. I think this rhythm of meeting every day brings us closer, and it happened by this connection that me and May are talking almost every day now around what's happening in the hunger strike. And I came to visit, and then spontaneously Aram came to our house, and my stepdaughter, which is 11 years old, it was a beautiful moment for me to witness. She asked Aram, "How do you say hug in Arabic?" And uh, and that's one of the first words she ever learned in Arabic. And I learned 3 years Arabic in a formal institute, and nobody told me how to say the word hug. And of course, once she said that, she hugged her. and uh, on the way home, a day after, she asked her father why Aram's mother can't come. And she said, and he tried to explain to an 11-year-old, how do you explain the situation? And she said, she told him, but she's such a good person. Why is it a problem? And I think it's an understanding I wish all our kids would learn in this age. I think it's something I understood only when I was about 26. Um,
So
I guess those are the ripples of our movement.
how do you say hug in Arabic?
Ab-
Ab-
Yeah, sorry, again?
Abta.
After.
Abta. Yes, yes.
After.
Abta, abta.
After like after in Hebrew.
Huh?
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. This was the dream 14 years ago, that my daughter Aram would not live the reality I have lived, that she will also not wait until she is 28 to meet a normal Jewish person, that she will see as she is growing up not only her nephew and niece, no, many, many, many other Jewish, many, many, many other Jewish Israelis, that she will say, this is how we grew up. This is what we know. This is what we always knew. And Satyam was a remembrance. Ikumi was a place to start, connected people, and we continued. We took it all the way to the hunger strikes for others, that we hunger ourselves. Satyam Homeland Community Center, we started it joint, Palestinians and Israelis, in order to reflect to the world what can actually be done when we meet, how we can be healed when we are sat with, when we are heard, when we grieve together, when we talk together, when we move together, as Ras said, and day life becomes weird when I don't know what's happening on the other side. I am affected. My life, my emotions, my feelings are affected by how Noor, how Raz, how Maya, how Maryam, how David, how Talia, how everyone is feeling. I do all of this to all of us. We hold here everyone and their truth. In 2 days, we will have activists arriving here in the community center. One of them is Felix, all the way from Germany. He arrived less than 40 hours ago, already preparing to come with many other people, to be here, to sit together, to grieve together, to share music together, but also to work together and resist together, to bring these voices in togetherness and plan and organize this love and this apta for everyone, for everyone, for everyone. It's a place where we heal and work on a trauma and do joint grief circles and women grief circles, where we sit and we talk about nonviolent dialogue, and this is the main tool that we use, and move in action in nonviolent resistance toward each other, toward securing a future that is real justice and a freedom that is beyond what we see today, to where Gaza, the hostages, the prisoners, and all of us are free. It's a small community center that is so big, it extends everywhere in the world. It's crazy. We receive messages from Colombia, from the Ayawana, from the Maya, greeting and honoring us. And we greet them and we honor them because we all remember this is the path, this is the right way. Satyam is what we wish for the whole world to look like. The whole world to look like, for mothers to walk in confident that the cries of their children is a joy to our hearts because it means it's life and it's love, and there is a tribe to hold. When Gail, when whoever walks in, when the door of Satyam is open, it's open for everyone. And this hunger strike that started 24 days ago or 25 days ago is actually one of the biggest steps we took so far. We began opening Satyam during the war, right on the 7th of October. We understood we cannot do this without the community. And this is our second biggest step, going with the hunger strike. Their hunger is our hunger. Their hunger is our hunger. Until we finish it, until this oppression system ends and you can all walk in. We can all eat. We can all hold our kids like Noor and Aram and take them to play dates and to the sea to remind them of the love and abundance of this earth. And until then, we are hungering, we are fasting, we are striking, we are meeting, and we are calling you to continue, whether it takes 25 days or it takes 100 days. This is our call to you through Satyam, for you to become also our tribe, to hold this as the dearest tribe of your soul, and to walk us through it. Thank you. David, dear. Wanna add? Your mic is closed, love.
Yeah, thank you, May. I think I don't have much to add except that this is like the last resort we found to bring global awareness, local awareness, and we really want to invite you to join us in every way that you feel comfortable. You can fast with us, even just leaving something out of your daily meal, your daily rhythm that puts you in embodied solidarity with the people in Gaza. And it's not only the people in Gaza, it's also the people in Yemen and in Sudan. We are here, so we need to stand for those who are close to us, that we can have power to do something. So wherever you are, we just invite you to join this movement and find community in these with these people around here that do want to network, do want to find their power to do something, whether it's local, whether it's art, whether it's music, everything that civil disobedience, demonstration, everything together creates a big amount of people. And our hunger strike is one part of it, because we decided to put our body and our souls really fully in, to call for the bare minimum, We're just calling for enough food to enter Gaza, a ceasefire, and enough medication. This is the aim of the hunger strike. And of course, this is a stepping stone on the roadmap to justice, to freedom, to the end of the oppression of the Palestinian people, but globally. Structures of violence and oppression and disappropriation. So we're in a global struggle, and we believe in the power of community. We believe in the power of joining as multiple nations and hearts and people from all over to really become one voice for one future for all of our children. So this is what you're joining when you're here, and you're the most welcome. You give us that power to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I was very blessed a few months ago to go to America for a speaking tour and for the film There Is Another Way. And though we met before, I happened to meet Evelyn Ophir also differently. A woman of resistance and a heart that is so big that can fit the tribe. She continues to come to Palestine, Israel. She continues to see us before the 7th of October and after the 7th of October and even more after. So you will hear a lot from one woman what she was able to do and what we can actually do and how the friendship could create miracles. I know a lot of the Palestinian activists that Evelyn also knows, and there is no words to tell how every small deed is actually so big, so big, so big, so big. May your hearts be full of her like my heart is. May you feel also everything that she is doing within your soul. So it is part of our message that you hear all these other people, that we all hear each other in our path and this journey. Thank you, Evelyn, for your open heart, for your wisdom also with me and guiding me in my journey for the past few months. Thank you, love. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you, Mai. I'm just here, like all of us, because we all care about the future and the present of both our peoples. So I love what you said about journey into peace building, because I think we've heard so much about breaking the barriers, not just like our individual journeys on how we got here to understand that there's two peoples on this land and everybody's deserving of dignity and equality and all this really nice stuff. And I think for me, the next step is making it happen, because I can talk the talk for the rest of my life and the situation still remains the same. So I think I want to start with a little anecdote of what happened before I went on my trip to Jerusalem and Bethlehem. So it was about 4 days ago. So it was, no, 4 days before I left on my trip, which was at the end of April. And we're at my daughter's house. We're having a challah bake. Challah is the Sabbath bread that we eat, and it's a mitzvah to prepare the challah and to bless it before the Sabbath. So I'm at my daughter's house, Sharoni, and then the Rebbitzin, the rabbi's wife, is there as well. And it's like an imam and the wife of the imam. It's a very holy kind of environment. And then there's another woman, a Russian Jewish woman, with her daughter. So the five of us are there. And here I am embarking on this mystery tour. And it's like, it's the elephant in the room. You know, why is this woman taking this trip? What is she doing? And all you have to do is ask. So the Russian Jewish woman asked me, "Oh, what is the purpose of your trip?" And after telling all these people that I'm going to be going to, I want to meet people from Combatants for Peace, and I want to in West Jerusalem, and I want to go to Jerusalem Youth Chorus and meet the wonderful kids from East and West Jerusalem who are singing together, and then Sulha Peace Movement, bringing Israelis and Palestinians together. So I'm realizing, wow, and then I'm going to Bethlehem. My gosh, and telling people, and they're like, they look at me like I am really weird. So I just decided to come up with something different rather than describing my trip. I just said, I came out, I'm going for peace building. And how right that felt. So, um, what more can I say? It's just an individual path that I'm committed to. Um, and my belief was confirmed when I went on my trip I stayed in Jerusalem, West Jerusalem. I stayed across from the Russian compound, the Muscovite, that's so awful with all the horrible detention. And I thought, God, I'm going to hear all these cries and suffering. And here I am in Jerusalem um, for 2 weeks, seeing the pain and suffering of people, really, really taking it in, and then taking the bus to Jerusalem. I was going to be accompanied, but then I decided I was going to go a day earlier. I just felt that I needed to get out of Jerusalem and go to Bethlehem. And then I was volunteering at the Palestine Institute of Biodiversity and Sustainability in Bethlehem, and which is co-founded by Mazin and Jesse Kumsia. So Jesse's waiting for me. I take the bus, I get off at the turnstile, which is, I guess, the checkpoint, and I just carry my bags through the turnstile, and I enter another world, a world that I had never really experienced, although I lived in Jerusalem and I had friends in the old city, and um, I had encounters with Palestinians, but I had never really experienced the life in the West Bank. And I encountered such generosity, and I was just by myself. And I would call my friends on the phone and say, well, gee, I had this. And oh my gosh, look at these olive trees. They're so beautiful. And I just had incredible experiences. And I I came back, and people really were not interested in hearing about my trip. I came back to the States. I live in Southern Florida. They weren't interested. They weren't interested in my journey. And I'm like, okay, I just continue going about your business. So I'm sitting around and I'm saying, well, what am I going to do? I'm like, um, just continue. And it really started from there, from after October 7th, when the groups that I had been attending, Palestine Museum, US, hearing their films, seeing the stories, hearing the stories, experiencing the stories of dispossession from 1948, and just just kept going to these meetings and monthly meetings with the Palestine Institute of Biodiversity. If people have questions, just please feel free to ask afterwards. I'm just trying to kind of make it short. And building these relationships. And it was just it was based on trust, that even after October 7th, these relationships still continued. How could that be? It just, it's just unimaginable. Unimaginable, this road. I wouldn't even call it a journey. I just call it a road. So I came back and I said, wait a minute, all of this experience is amazing. I experienced that peace is possible. And what is it going to take? It's going to take going beyond physical and metaphysical boundaries of fear, of incredible fear. In fact, I went on a walk for the hostages about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I was with a couple of older Israelis, and we were just talking in the car, and they were saying, "Well, gee, pal, they just want to kill us." So what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? I just listened. And I said, I'm not going to get in an argument with this woman or try to convince her. It's only if we became friends, if we became, like close on an intimate level, that I could really explain to her my experience, and that you just have to kind of swallow and just do what you need to do, is get to know people. So I'm really serious right now about the next steps that we're going to do to create justice and freedom and equality in the Middle East. And so I'm studying conflict transformation now, which means going from A, I call it, to C, which is like a circuitous route based on relationships, how to transform the society. And what I really discovered is that the Israeli society needs more transformation than the Palestinian society. Because people that I met in the West Bank, they always loved to talk and inviting me for coffee and eating, and it was just amazing. And Israelis, it's just so painful. And so these are really cataclysmic changes. And so, and one of the things that I want to do before our Yom Kippur holiday in September, October, is to write a prayer, Al Chet Shefatanu. That's the sin that we have sinned and we have committed, that we've done this and we've done this, and about how much we need to acknowledge, how much, and that's not enough, but that's a good place to start, to work towards understanding, towards not being judgmental. And so I'm continuing always to look for partners to work for a new paradigm, so that, as my always says, that the next generation doesn't have to go through what we've gone through.
Evelyn, maybe you share a bit about your work with the olive planting and around the olive season.
I have a picture, if I could show it.
The olive season for us here in Palestine is one of the most crucial olives trees anyways, like our soul shakes with them. And olive season is one of the most important to us, and due to settlers attacks and due to the theft of lands, Palestinians are not allowed, most of the Palestinians are not allowed to go to their olive trees. They're not allowed to nothing almost, unless Jewish and foreigners accompanies them in order to support in case the settlers came or the military came. And normally they will say that it's a military closed area to kick the Palestinians and the Jewish and the foreigners also out, but we try. And it's one of the protective presence that is continuously needed. Yeah. Yeah.
I fell in love with the olive trees. There were about 17 olive trees at the Palestine Institute for Biodiversity and Sustainability. And I pruned, they call them the suckers. And they're not suckers because they're so hard. It's so hard to cut them. And it's like these olive trees are just, they're not just hanging on to life, they are embedded in the land, so part of the land. There's just, when I was there, I just experienced such an experience of indigenous life experience on that land. It was extremely powerful.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. Really, to me, it's really important that we hear Evelyn, that we hear all of us, that we see that when we decide to do something and take a stand, maybe, yeah, we don't have many people around us, and maybe not everyone would want to sit and talk to us, but there are people like us. And we can find them if we continue to believe, if we continue to move on, we will find the people who are also after our hearts. And to me, what Evelyn is doing, her coming here, meeting with Palestinians, with Jewish Israelis, and sitting, planting at moments, and going to Sulha at other moments, and seeing what can be done here and what can be done there, and who needs a hug here and who needs a wisdom there, is exactly the path of freedom. It's exactly what we need to re-meet each other, to sit with each other, to plant olives for each other, to help support again seeding our lands the right in the right way, in the justice way, together, hands of Jewish and hands of Palestinians, hands of Christians, hands of those who belong to this land, and for everyone else around. Activism is not always so big. It's not always as opening organizations or having something big. It's in the contrary, this community. You are so big. Each one of you, each one of you is exactly the right army to have for this journey, for the true justice for everyone, where we acknowledge the pain and the suffering and talk about Palestine as much as we talk about Israel and Jewish, and talk about hostages as much as we talk about children, either in Gaza or in Sudan or in Yemen, that we name things as they are, knowing it's for healing. I wonder if any of you have a question or wish to comment or bring their voice. Yeah, please, oh, David. It's an open time for you to share something or bring your voice or ask a question. Yeah.
I want to offer that if you have specific questions to Evelyn, you can ask. And I want to open also the space for, maybe Evelyn talked about the face-to-face meetings and how that can be a transformative tool. So maybe one of the participants here has a story, a short story from your own life, from your own experience of a moment like that.
The two hands are raised. Alon, Regina, and Shifra. Alon, you want to share?
Yes, thank you. And maybe it would be also a question or a comment to Evelyn. Thank you, Evelyn. I was inspired. And thank you, May and David and everyone. Evelyn, you said that you feel that the Israeli society needs more transformation than the Palestinian society. I identified with it. And I remember the conversation I think I had with May, that she told me, as Israelis, it's our job to go to speak, for example, with the settlers. like there are things that the Palestinian activists can't do, and I'm Israeli, I speak Hebrew, and it's my responsibility maybe to go to the children of the settlers, which is the hardest thing for me. Okay, I'm Israeli, but I can go to such hard discussions and moment. And this moment that you said that you just said, I can't answer right now. I need to swallow my words and to try to be close to her. And it's just like a thought. I don't know if this question is very held together. But what is our job as activists, like as Israelis towards the Israeli society,
Wow.
rather than fighting it and like saying you are criminal and you are wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I'm not a professional alone. I'm just a human being, but from my experience, listening, curiosity, interest. So, what is it going to take to go to East Jerusalem, to American Colony Hotel, and have a wonderful breakfast together? What is it going to take? It's just a desire to move beyond the comfort zone and understand that there isn't a military solution, that it's only by each person. Like when I sang that song about 3 weeks ago, one man's hands can't move the plow ahead, and we all come together. And it's really hard to go against the grain of Israeli society, having lived there for 13 years. It's so powerful. But people have courage just to get up in the morning now, Israelis, to go to work, to continue their lives. So people can and we have to believe that people can evolve, have a belief and not judge. Does that make any sense? Alon?
Yes, thank you. And also, Myra wrote in the chat acknowledging person's fears.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want also to let we have Hanoch, Shifra, and Regina. So let's
Thank you.
to hear everyone. Maybe we'll start with Regina. I see you're just first on my screen, so we'll start with you. Regina?
Thank you. Thank you. No, I'm just unmuting. And I think my reflection is on the process of unmuting, not technically, but I also was, I often find myself in the situation. Evelyn, first of all, Evelyn, I want to say I only met you through these meetings, and I so appreciate just the energy of your presence here.
Thank you.
And I will say briefly that I lived in the land for 5 years in a previous period of war and uprising. And for most of the 3 decades since I've come back to the States, I have been quiet. I won't say silent, but I've been quiet. Less so since October 7th. And I think that my variation on what I heard from you, which is it doesn't make sense to get into arguments in a place where there is no trust, where there is no foundation of trust, that just increases the conflict. My variation on total silence when somebody says they're all criminals, they're all murderers, is to say that is not my experience. To be able to offer an alternative truth without going down the rabbit hole or getting into the whole thing, but to be able to say, this is not my truth. This is not my experience. And it doesn't mean that I'll get into a conversation, but just to be able to give that little bit of gentle dissonance
Mm.
in the textures of silence. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Can I just respond to that for a sec? I know exactly what you're saying. And really, thank you so much for picking up on my, just trying to not make things worse. And that was kind of like since October 7th, that was kind of like my motto, just don't make things worse. I think I need to reflect more on that conversation. It wasn't a conversation, but what I heard from the woman 3 weeks ago. And I think that if I really wanted to talk to her, and I had an experience with a rabbinical intern from my synagogue, that we really did have a conversation and there really was trust. And he wrote on his Instagram page, he said, I am opposed to the blockade. So I still, I mean, if I had said that, I don't know if she would have listened. So maybe what I need to do is find a way that feels comfortable for me in a discussion, in a talkative kind of way, conversational way to engage her. So maybe that would be helpful. I'm just thinking.
Thank you. Shifra and then Hano.
Hi. Yeah, I wanted to thank you for that presentation, Evelyn. And Evelyn is a close friend of mine and very close friend, and she's the one who convinced me to support. Not that everyone has to support this, but to support one state where everybody is equal. And I just just really awed by her bravery in going there, and seeing her integrity and her journey and her effectiveness in building relationships with people. And thank you. And I lived there. I lived in Jerusalem a very long time ago, and um I would say, so my heart still feels like it's there, but I think that the times where I was most effective, I can be kind of a flamethrower at times, not literally, but I tend towards anger pretty easily. But I remember one Israeli guy saying to me, "Well, which side are you on?" And I said, uh, even though I wanted very different solution and I'm completely horrified, I said, "Well, I'm on both sides." Because I don't believe that ultimately this is, I mean, the carnage is far, 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 far greater for Palestinians. I'm not denying that, but I don't think that what we have now is a solution for anyone, and I want a solution that works for all. And I remember one time I was at a Chabad house. I used to be Orthodox. I'm not at all anymore, but um, I found it if I got quiet and listened to people and spoke with less heat. I remember just sitting around the table and say, this is not working. The only solution is walls, guns, bombs, soldiers, and it has no foundation. And I was amazed when I've been at, I can't say it's always true, but I was in another Chabad house where every single person but myself supported Meir Kahana, who was basically uh, I think out of his own fear and terror became, in my opinion, a fascist. Um, but everyone around the table, with the exception of the rabbi, nodded. And I could tell that they heard the truth of that. And I guess the question is, how do you move people from seeing the truth to moving into a better solution, like what SATYAM offers or what Evelyn and all of us are trying to build? So it gives me some hope to be here because I just feel so much sorrow over what's happening and frustration because I want this killing. I just can't stand it that people are being killed like this and not being allowed to be free. So that's why I'm here. And thank you, Evelyn, and thank you, Mai, and thank you, David, and Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shifra. Hanoch?
Good evening, everybody. I feel I become a close friend with Evelyn. The other day we shared a breakout room, and now we are back again. So thank you very much, Evelyn. Yes, I do agree that it's very, very difficult to get into rhythmic conversation nowadays in Israel. But I do not accept generalization. You said, Evelyn, the Israeli need more transformation than. When we are still in the middle of a process, we are not sociologists, it's not research. So I would say that all of us need more transformation without saying who needs more.
Oh, okay. I just can say that's just it's not, it was my opinion. It was my opinion.
Understand
And it
it's
was
your
my
opinion.
observation as well.
My
It was my
opinion is,
observation. Yeah.
I understand, but my observation is that by saying one more than the other, it's
Mm,
missing something.
okay.
The idea of classifying. And anyway, next time you are in Israel, I meet. I ask you to meet me in Jerusalem or at my home in Rishon LeZion or both of them.
Of course. Take the train on it's free for anybody over 67. I have the card. So of course.
Okay, I can pick you up at the Israeli station anywhere near your hotel.
Thank you. Thank you, Hanoch. Thank
Money
you.
is not the
Thank you.
point.
And we can
And
continue our discussion.
I'll transfer you my telephone so you can do anytime.
Thank you, Hanoch. Maybe we'll have a last comment. Malka, I see that your hand is up, and then we'll go to breakout rooms.
Mm. I just want to express just so much appreciation for this conversation today, and may your affirmation that just each piece that we do matters. And I think the past, being Jewish, and I'm a Jewish leader, a rabbi, and a witness to a lot of denial of truth. And there's so much fear of being ostracized when one speaks the truth. And it's very, very hard to be here in the US right now around like our we don't have literal bombs, but in a way it's like bombs are going off in our communities because it's so hard for us to talk to each other and I mean, and so it's like that, doing that very slow work of loving and listening and sharing when we can. And I was blessed to go, there was a Sacred Witness tour with the Combatants for Peace in February, and May hosted us, and very beautiful. And the one thing I've been sitting with in terms of the Jewish soul and the Israeli soul is that you have to know that you're forgivable to stop the war. If you don't know, like, because I mean, I'm just imagining that if you think you're doing right and you're just on, like, when we get on trains, we have the track, and in order to get off the track and change the track, you have to know that there's repair possible, that you'll be able to face all of the horrible feelings when the truth comes to light, and that you can heal, and that there's life beyond. And so that's really the piece that's such an important teaching that we need to offer. And I also just wanted to share a piece of art I made. I've been interested in bringing sackcloth back to that. And the Bible talks about at times of mourning and needing repentance that we wear sackcloth. So I got a bag from a coffee shop, a sackcloth bag, and I put the word ashamnu, we are guilty, on it. But it's also in the prayers we say that I also wrote, we have cared, and we ask that we be forgiven. It's not just we're guilty and therefore we need to stop thriving. We need to look at what we've done wrong, and then we can repair. And there's what's the day after. So what you're building here, what we're building here, is the day after.
Thank you, Malka. Thank you for sharing. It's already 7 now, so I think it's a good time to go to breakout rooms. And I want to offer a question. Again, it's not mandatory. But I want to offer maybe sharing a point of view, maybe a certain part of society, either Jewish Israeli or Muslim Palestinian, or somebody that we have trouble understanding, and sharing, maybe trying to challenge ourselves and try to understand the point of view of what is our other side. I'm sure that every single person here has another side. It can be in our own society and it can be in another society, but trying to try to put ourselves in the shoes of our other side, and to try to see what motivates this other side. Why are they feeling this way? Why are they talking this way? Why are they acting this way? And trying to connect on this level. And we can experiment this with each other. Again, it's just an offer. We can also just share feelings about what we've heard in the conversation, or otherwise feelings we have around what is happening around us. So we'll do that for about 15 minutes. David, can you break up? And anything else you want to share, May, David?
No, I just I was very touched by what Malka said. And I would invite us to also bring it to the spaces, to the room. How do we bring this message of love and forgiveness even to the ones who are now taking not the right decisions? How do I do it for my own people, but also for the other that I wish to build peace with and live with? How do I show also this? This is part of also our activism, and yet exactly what Evelyn brought. What can I do, and how do I hold also the sadness and the grief, but yet move with what I know is the truth, and bring that truth and sit with that truth and hold and hug and grieve and wonder and question with that truth. And thank you. Also, Raz, I would take all these questions. And again, what Raz invited also, whatever is alive for you, if you feel these are the questions that are reflecting you, then yes, please do it. If something else is alive and you wish to bring it, this space is yours. We offer it for all of you to have the space to voice your own truth, your own voice as it is. So, thank you. And we will see you in 15 minutes. We will send a reminder, Noraz, 2 minutes before they need to come. There will be a reminder, 2 minutes. And we really hope for you to all join us back again to hear few different voices and to bless each other and to close in togetherness again. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for taking the time and the space to listen, to hold, to receive, and for you to speak and be received and heard and seen. And we would love to hear a few of your voices, 2, 3 voices for 1 minute each. How was it for you? Or there is something alive in you that you wish to bring to all of us. It's, now is the time, and we would really appreciate it also to hear you, your experience, or whatever you wish to give to us, please. It's open. I don't know if anyone is raising their hands, but feel free to open your mic and speak.
I can start. Howdy, shalom, and assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Diana Nicole Arafat. I reside in Houston, Texas, where I was born. I lived a few years in the Middle East growing up as a young child, and I'm very grateful to hold space with open hearted individuals from both sides of the complex situation we are all put in right now due to foul politicians at play. I pray and know that soon everything will be changed for the benefit of the people of the world so we can all reclaim our sovereign essence as human kindness of one family and a one world that is at peace with each other and living in harmony with the ecosystem. It is a honor to be here with y'all that feel the change in the world and are using nonviolent effective communication to implement open-hearted dialogue so we may feel together and heal together in a unity conscious mindset that gives us true freedom. I pray to come and visit y'all there as I still have family in the West Bank and Jordan and Egypt, all over the world, honestly. I look at everyone in the world as brothers and sisters, besides my mother and father and my elder ancestors. I am really looking forward to keeping in touch with y'all and seeing how we can grow in an equal way. Thank you, Satnam, and Namaste.
Diana, dear, we honor you and we see you, all of Satyam, all of us everywhere. And yes, looking forward to receive you here in this land and host you and hold the space with you and for you of remembering. Thank you, dear.
Thank y'all for co-creating this beautiful container.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you. Mm. Mm. Diana, dear, you wish to share or your mic is open?
Are you talking to me?
I just saw your mic is open. I'm wondering if you wanted to share or if it's okay. You don't have to.
I'm feeling overwhelmed since yesterday.
Mm.
Didn't sleep.
Mm.
It's the closest I've been physically feeling, talking to Di, the Palestinian that needs the medication and the tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
That was the first time I felt actually close. And I'm just like, I'm still overwhelmed, and I'm overwhelmed by all the issues that we raised in the small room. But I mean, this is what needs to be in the world, as the previous Diana said. So it's very important to me.
Mm. Diana, dear. Thank you. It's an honor to have you. It's an honor to hear you. I'm glad I said your name and that you shared. Yesterday, Dia was very touched by your sharing. I spoke to him after the Zoom, and he said that nobody has ever told him that they feel connected to him, not even yet a Palestinian. So your words and your being, all your words and all your being, I really, really hope that you all know how effective you are and how healing this presence is. and how powerful it is. I really, really hope your souls knows it, that you know that this choice coming is actually healing. This activism, it's actually doing a lot to us in the West Bank, in Israel, in Gaza, for the hostages, for the world. It is actually changing people's life. It also was the first time ever speaking to actually Jewish, to Israelis.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Wow.
and his mom and his family were behind the phone. And I must tell you, it was healing for them. They were really shocked. He didn't tell them that there will be Jewish on the Zoom. He said internationals because he was so scared. And then
Oh,
they heard the Zoom, and yeah, this morning I spoke to him again and to his mother, and I wish she would say yes soon to come and share with you guys personally what where it actually took them and how did they just sleep yesterday for the fact of hearing that there is a Jewish and also Jewish Israelis that are against what is happening. And Dia told Lina, he said he wanted to mention the hostages. He was scared for his life. And may we never be scared to talk about each other. May they come back and speak also of more courage and share their hearts more also with you, Layana, and to all of you. Thank you. Hanoch, dear, maybe we take a last voice before we.
Yes, I want to join this conversation. For me, it was also first time I speak to somebody from Gaza. Uh, I said it in a breakout room. I prefer the term Israelis and Palestinians and not Jewish. Uh, I'm Jewish, but first of all, we are two nations, Israel and Palestinian. And we have to live together. And doesn't matter what is our religious belief, because there are many streams within the Judaism and many streams within the Muslim.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I I even make a screenshot of Dia to nourish it with me.
mm.
My dear Hanoch, your voice and your presence, love, and you wanting to name everyone equally is deeply cherished. May all the children again and again, hostages, prisoners of all oppression systems, be mentioned, be named until they are all free. All free. May we witness the freedom of all of them, from Gaza to the rest of the world. Thank you, Habib. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. David, dear.
I see you want wish to speak. Maybe we give
Yes.
you bring your essence to us so we can also hear you.
David?
You
Is it possible to say something more?
Uh-huh.
We have
Yes.
time? Okay.
yeah, we can hear you before we close.
Okay. I yes, I'm very touched by this session because I've the feeling that we are all together a world family, and we are sitting here in Osnabrück also with 6 people. It's a record now, and the family is growing, and it also feels like a family. We are sitting close together, but I have the feeling that we are kind of world family. And as Lotte said, that in our own family, even in my family, I have conflicts with, and even deep conflict with my brother, and sometimes we don't talk to each other, and it I don't like it, but I would like to heal the conflict, and I see that as a world family, we also can heal conflicts worldwide if we are so close to each other, and that's really a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the bigger vision, right? Now we are working here towards justice in the land, and we must call all injustice everywhere. We must call it out, and we must stand by the ones who can't stand by themselves. And this is how we create a different world. And as long as there's people in this world that are overpowered and disappropriated and are suffering by unnecessary reasons, by human-made reasons, we must change. We must work to change, because it will come back to us. So this is why we must stand now, so that we can stand tomorrow. And those who we stand for today, they will stand for us tomorrow. So thank you for standing with us and standing with those who don't have a voice right now, because the world doesn't give them an equal voice. And it is really, there is no one else. It is us, the people with hearts and minds and feet and hands. It's us. The politicians won't do the job. It's us. There's no one else. We're waiting for someone to save us from this madness, but there's no one. It is you. It is your heart.
Thank you, David. I think I will lead us to closing because it's already 7:30. Unless there is anything else you want to share before I close.
Yeah, maybe just to again mention that you pasted in the chat or links. So just inviting you all to come back, to share about us, to spread the word, to invite more people, share it with some friends, 2-3 friends that you believe that could be interested in this kind of community and that want to get more informed and more connected to what's going on here in the land. Join us on the map. There is a map that you can just put yourself with a pin. It's also part of the list. It would be amazing if you place yourself on the map and just show where you are, so we can show to the world like how spread we are and this community is. And of course, if you want to donate to such, yeah, we just hope to see you again
The video
in the
work.
next days and the next weeks. Hello?
You were cut off for a moment, so I'll just say that what David said is about the ability to also contribute and donate money to SATYAM, and also that there's a link in the chat box. I will say also that I added a schedule for the coming Thursday and Friday. We're going to have a community gathering in SATYAM. You're more than invited, not only you, also if you have friends or family that you think that might find it interesting, they can come as well. Everybody is welcome. And I want to finish with a moment of silence, and maybe we can also all go again. We heard a lot of things. It might have took us to different places in our thoughts and feelings, but maybe to go back to our heart and to remember that we're doing this movement to create change, first of all, within us and to the circles around us. And I want to also offer something to take with us for maybe the following days. is maybe like a small challenge for the coming week. Maybe we can take upon ourselves to try to listen to somebody that we find it hard listening to. Can be our cousin, can be our brother, can be our neighbor, and it can be also somebody from whatever we describe as the other side. So I want to close with a moment of silence and say again, thank you to every single person here with us. This is already what change looks like. Just being here, witnessing, and sharing this space. And thank you, May. Thank you, David. And
David and everyone.
and may our peace work expand to our hearts, families, our friends, our communities, and
Yes.
the whole wide world.
Yeah, I must say that I need to go. They are waiting for me for the next conversation. The link is also in the chat if you wish to join the heart to heart conversation. So thank you all for coming. It's an honor, really an honor to have this journey with all of you. And Raz, Habibti, and David. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. See you tomorrow if you wish.
Yes.
For another really important conversation we're gonna have with a person from Nablus.
An amazing voice from Nablus that will touch our hearts to also hear what's happening in the West Bank, what they are going through, and yet the choice of nonviolent resistance and love. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, bye everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ariel. Hi, good to see you, Willy Brandt. All of these. So beautiful to see you as a group.
Raz, are we going to have the moment of silence?
Yeah, so I see that people are already leaving because there's another Zoom. But I think I want to offer just staying in silence together also while people are leaving. And then slowly we can continue to our lives. But just like having this moment to pause, I think it's important before we go back to our day-to-day missions.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for witnessing, for sitting together. And we'll see you tomorrow.